Today we're going to try something a little bit new, and I'm going to read some Aesop's Fables. My mother used to read them to me when I was a child, and I hope you enjoy them now as much as I did then. Thank you. The first fable that we're going to read today is called The Wolf and the Kid. There was once a little kid whose growing horns made him think he was a grown-up billy goat and able to take care of himself. So one evening when the flock started home from the pasture and his mother called, the kid paid no heed and kept right on nibbling the tender grass. A little while later, when he lifted his head, the flock was gone. He was all alone. The sun was sinking. Long shadows came creeping over the ground. A chilly little wind came creeping with them, making scary noises in the grass. The kid shivered as he thought of the terrible wolf. Then he started wildly over the field, bleating for his mother. But not halfway, near a clump of trees, there was the wolf. The kid knew there was little hope for him. "Please, Mr. Wolf," he said, trembling, "I know you are going to eat me, but first, please, pipe me a tune, for I want to dance and be merry for as long as I can." The wolf liked the idea of a little music before eating, so he struck up a merry tune, and the kid leaped and frisked gaily. Meanwhile, the flock was moving slowly homeward. In the still evening air, the wolf's piping carried far. The shepherd dogs pricked up their ears. They recognized the song the wolf sings before a feast, and in a moment they were racing back to the pasture. The wolf's song ended suddenly, and he ran, with the dogs at his heels. He called himself a fool for turning piper to please a kid, when he should instead have struck to his butcher's trade. And the moral of this story is, do not let anything turn you from your purpose. Lie back and close your eyes. Everything is going to be fine. The next fable we're going to go through tonight is called The Tortoise and the Ducks. The tortoise, carries his house on his back. No matter how hard he tries, he cannot leave home. They say that Jupiter punished him, so because he was such a lazy stay-at-home that he would not go to Jupiter's wedding, even when he was invited. After many years, Tortoise began to wish he had gone to that wedding. When he saw how gaily the birds flew about, and how the hare and the chipmunk and all the other animals ran nimbly by, always eager to see everything there was to be seen, the tortoise felt sad and very discontented. He wanted to see the world too, and there he was, with a house on his back and little short legs that could hardly drag him along. One day he met a pair of ducks and told them all his trouble. "We can help you to see the world," said the ducks. "Take hold of the stick with your teeth, and we will carry you far up into the air where you can see the whole countryside. But of it, one at each end, and away they sailed up toward the clouds. Just then a crow flew by. He was very much astonished at the strange sight, and cried, "This must surely be the king of tortoises." "Why, certainly," began the tortoise, but as he opened his mouth to say these foolish words, he lost his hold on the stick, and down he fell to the ground, where he was dashed to pieces on a rock. And the moral is foolish curiosity and vanity often lead to misfortune. That was a dark tale for sure. Sorry, I chose that one for second. Easy. Just relax. Lie back and close your eyes. Just close your eyes and drift. Listen to the stories and just drift. Everything is going to be fine. You are perfect. Now let's move on to our next tale. The next fable we're going to read tonight is called The Young Crab and His Mother. "Why in the world do you walk sideways like that?" said a mother crab to her son. "You should always walk straight forward with your toes turned out." "Show me how to walk, mother dear," answered the little crab obediently. "I want to learn." So the old crab tried and tried to walk straight forward, but she could walk sideways only, like her son. And when she wanted to turn her toes out, she tripped and fell on her nose. The moral of this story is do not tell others how to act unless you can set a good example. It makes sense to me. Let's see what we have next. At least that one was a sort of uplifting one. The next fable that we're going to read tonight is called The Frogs and the Ox. An ox came down to a reedy pool to drink. As he splashed heavily into the water, he crushed a young frog into the mud. The old frog soon missed the little one and asked his brothers and sisters what had become of him. "A great big monster," said one of them, "stepped on little brother with one of his huge feet. Big was he," said the old frog, puffing himself up. "Was he as big as this?" "Oh, much bigger," they cried. The frog puffed up still more. "He could not have been bigger than this," he said. But the little frogs all declared that the monster was much, much bigger, and the old frog kept puffing himself out more and more until all at once he burst. The moral of this story is do not attempt the impossible. That was not an uplifting one. I clearly need to do a better job picking these. Relax. Easy does it. Calm. Steady. Let's do another. Hopefully this one won't be quite so grim. The next moral we're going to read is called The Dog, the Cock, and the Fox. A dog and a cock, who were the best of friends, wished very much to see something of the world. So they decided to leave the farmyard and set out into the world along the road that led to the woods. The two comrades traveled along in the very best of spirits and without meeting any adventure to speak of. At nightfall the cock, looking for a place to roost, as was his custom, spied near by a hollow tree that he thought would do very nicely for the night's lodging. The dog could creep inside, and the cock would fly up on one of the branches. So said, so done, and both slept very comfortably. With the first glimmer of dawn, the cock awoke. For the moment, he forgot just where he was. He thought he was still in the farmyard, where it had been his duty to arouse the household at daybreak. So, standing on tiptoe, he flapped his wings and crowed lustily. But instead of awakening the farmer, he awakened a fox not far off in the wood. The fox immediately had rosy visions of a delicious breakfast. Hurrying to the tree where the cock was roosting, he said very politely, "A hearty welcome to our woods, honored sir. I cannot tell you how glad I am to see you here. I am quite sure we shall become the closest of friends." "I feel highly flattered, kind sir," replied the cock slyly. "If you will please go around to the door of my house at the foot of the tree, my porter will let you in." The hungry but unsuspecting fox went around the tree as he was told, and in a twinkling the dog had seized him. Moral: those who try to deceive may expect to be paid in their own coin. Calm, relax, lay back. Everything is going to be fine. Hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow.